I'm under arrest right now? What am I under arrest for? Christian, are you serious right now? Okay. I didn't know him though.
We have video cameras.
Sha'Carri Richardson has once again become the center of attention. But this time, the conversation goes far beyond her performances on the track, and fans everywhere are paying close attention to how the story unfolds. Over the years, Sha'Carri has built a reputation as one of the fastest and most charismatic athletes in the world. But at the same time, she has also been surrounded by plenty of controversies. From her suspension over cannabis use before the Tokyo Olympics to her outspoken personality on social media, which often divides public opinion. Now, the spotlight is back on her after reports surfaced of a tense altercation at Seattle-Tacoma International Airport, where leaked footage and police documents suggested she was involved in a heated argument with her boyfriend, fellow athlete, Christian Coleman. What some initially thought was just a small disagreement between two people quickly escalated when authorities stepped in. And the moment cameras caught the exchange, it instantly became headline news. Fans online immediately began debating the situations. Some people rushed to defend her, saying she is constantly being judged too harshly, while others argued that public figures should be more careful with their behavior, especially in high-pressure environments. The discussion then expanded into a much larger conversation about how major brands handle situations like this. With Nike's long-standing partnership with Sha'Carri becoming a central talking point, many pointed out that Nike has previously cut ties with athletes for controversies that seemed less dramatic, which naturally led to the question, why is Sha'Carri still one of their top faces despite this? Some believe Nike sees her as more than just an athlete. She represents resilience, individuality, and the voice of a new generation, making her incredibly valuable from a branding perspective. Others feel that big companies sometimes apply double standards, depending on marketability and public influence. Either way, the debate is not just about Sha'Carri, it's also about the balance between personal struggles, public image, and corporate responsibility. Should brands always take immediate action when an athlete faces criticism, or should they allow room for growth, redemption, and the reality that people, even stars, make mistakes? What makes this situation so fascinating is that it touches on broader themes: how much privacy athletes deserve in their personal lives, how much weight should be given to leaked footage or reports, and how society decides who gets a second chance. At the end of the day, Sha'Carri Richardson remains an incredibly talented athlete whose journey is full of ups and downs. Whether you support her or question her actions, there's no denying that she continues to spark conversations that go far beyond sports. The real question now is, how will she, her fans, and her sponsors move forward from here? And what impact will this have on her legacy, both on and off the track?
Oh yeah. So this is a position that Christian Coleman put me into, okay? Because he's a coward, and I don't want anything to do with him at this point going forward.
According to reports, Sha'Carri appeared frustrated during the incident and could be heard questioning Christian's actions, asking why he wasn't standing up for her in the situation. Some accounts suggest she accused him of not supporting her, while at the same time insisting that she hadn't physically done anything wrong, despite footage that seemed to show otherwise. As the exchange continued and tensions rose, she reportedly became more upset with the officers involved, expressing her feelings that she was being treated unfairly compared to Christian. Witnesses say she even questioned why she was the one being detained, framing the situation as unequal treatment. These moments captured on camera quickly fueled online debates, with some people interpreting her behavior as a sign of stress and pressure in a high-profile environment, while others viewed it as evidence of deeper issues. After the airport incident, many viewers felt like they'd reached a breaking point. And that's when the conversation quickly shifted from a single confrontation to a debate about corporate responsibility, with big-name sponsors, Nike chief, among them suddenly in the spotlight. Online discussions ran hot as fans asked whether a brand that has cut ties with athletes for lesser controversies would treat this situation the same way, and whether sustained public pressure might finally force a major sponsorship decision. Reports from the scene and later interviews suggested that the exchange between the two athletes didn't end when authorities left. Some accounts say Sha'Carri expressed frustration with Christian's perceived response in the moment, questioning whether he was defending her, while other observers pointed to footage that appeared to show a physical interaction and noted that he later declined to press charges. In an interview, he described wanting to offer grace and understanding and said he didn't feel punishment was appropriate, framing the matter as something the couple needed to work through rather than a legal battle. That stance divided people. Even more, some praised his desire to protect the relationship and spare both of them further harm, while others read his body language and public comments as odd or uncomfortable, prompting speculation about whether he felt pressured to defend her publicly. Voices across social media and commentators weighed in, with some accusing Sha'Carri of manipulating the narrative and others calling out unfair online piling in. Controversial takes from podcasters and comedians amplified those feelings. But those remain opinions rather than proven facts. As the story unfolded, it grew beyond a single incident into a narrative about power dynamics, public perception, and how private struggles play out in an era of instant video and viral judgment. The key questions people keep circling back to are about fairness, the role of leaked footage in shaping reputations, and whether sponsors should act immediately or allow space for accountability and growth. In short, this episode forced fans and commentators to wrestle with messy, complicated issues: loyalty and safety in personal relationships, the responsibility of public figures, and how brands should respond when an athlete's private life becomes a public controversy in the aftermath of the airport incident. The conversation around Sha'Carri Richardson only grew louder, with many people revisiting old interviews and resurfaced stories, particularly one from her former partner and Jamaican hurdler Janique Brown, who once described their past relationship as complicated and emotionally heavy, saying it included struggles on both sides and left her feeling silenced and misunderstood. While some fans now view those remarks in a new light, others remind everyone that these are still personal accounts shaped by difficult emotions and cannot be taken as definitive truth. Around the same time, clips of Sha'Carri's public apology began circulating online, sparking even more debate, with some viewers questioning her tone and delivery, suggesting that her words came across as more defensive than remorseful, while others felt she was simply trying to move forward and emphasize love and reconciliation with her partner. The fact that Nike continued to feature her prominently on their website and campaigns immediately after the reports added another layer to the discussion, as critics argued that the brand seemed to be prioritizing marketability over accountability, especially when compared to how they've handled other athletes in the past. Social media reactions poured in by the thousands, with some accusing Nike of hypocrisy for keeping a zero-tolerance stance in certain cases while remaining silent in this one, and others suggesting that Sha'Carri's outspoken personality and ability to generate attention may be exactly why the company continues to back her so strongly. Comparisons were quickly drawn to other high-profile athletes, such as Caitlin Clark, who, despite immense popularity, hasn't yet received the same level of promotional push from Nike, leading fans to question what factors really determine who gets the spotlight. For supporters of Sha'Carri, the situation highlights how much pressure elite athletes face, both on and off the track. And they argue that missteps should not erase talent, achievements, or the possibility of personal growth. For her critics, however, the story fits into a broader pattern of controversial moments that seem to follow her. From her suspension over cannabis use to public clashes, and now this incident, they argue that continued sponsorship in spite of these controversies sends the wrong message. What's clear is that the debate has moved far beyond a single argument at an airport. It has become about double standards in sports, the way corporations balance values against profits, and the difficult line between holding public figures accountable while still recognizing their humanity. As of now, Sha'Carri has remained largely quiet. Nike has not issued any formal statement, and Christian has not spoken further, leaving fans and commentators to fill the silence with theories, opinions, and endless online discussions. In the end, this moment may prove to be another turning point in Sha'Carri's already eventful career. Not just because of what happened, but because of what it reveals about the culture of modern sports, the power of social media narratives, and the complicated relationship between athletes, their personal lives, and the brands that choose to stand beside them.